Hello, guys, and welcome back to Chelsea is Away. Today we're previewing the Chelsea versus Bayern Munich game, and honestly, I'm so excited. After being away for almost an eternity, now we're back. We're back, baby. We're back to where we belong, and it's actually a heavyweight clash. I mean, Bayern Munich versus Chelsea at the magnificent Allianz Arena. This Wednesday night, kickoff is 8 p.m. West African time. This isn't just any game. This is a return to Europe's elite, a return to competition with Craven. So a return to the stadium that holds perhaps our greatest memory. I've got a lot to cover in this preview, so let's dive right in. Now, for the first part, let's talk about us returning back to the Allianz Arena and then the historical context to this game. Let's not beat around the bush, my people. When you say Allianz Arena and you say Chelsea, only one thing comes to mind, doesn't it? May 19, 2012, the greatest night in our football history. I mean, Didier Drogba, Peter Cech, and that night in Munich, we conquer Europe on that page. Now, obviously, there's no more Peter Cech, there's no more Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard, Mikel Obi, Michael Essien, Juan Mata, Brad Bertrand, you can name as much as you can remember, but these are now different players, different manager, different competition phase. But psychologically, returning to that stadium for our first Champions League game back against the same opponent, it's a huge layer of emotional weight. For new players, it's a chance to start their own Champions League legacy. For the fans, it's a reminder of what we're fighting for. Does the history help or hinder us? I think it can only for us. It's a chance to show the world that Chelsea belongs to the level, and always Bayern would be out for revenge. Always, always. I mean, they would always remember 2012, but we will remember it better. I mean, I can't stop licking my lips because I remember it just like I said, it was just yesterday. We remember it better because it's not just a group stage game, it's a stage game for both teams, and it's a very tough one. And that brings me to the second part, which I was talking about Bayern Munich, our opponents for tomorrow's game. Now, let's talk about the opponents. Bayern, they are without a doubt the favorites for this competition. I mean, year in, year out, they are honestly the one of the competition's favorites every year. And they've been a dominant force in their league for over a decade, and their squad is stacked with world-class players. I mean, talk about the likes of Harry Kane, talk about Michael Olise, talk about Luis Diaz, talk about Joshua Kimmich, their goalkeeper, Manuel Neuer, their defenders of Upamecano and all that. So you can name all you want, but this game is going to be a very tough game, and they'll be playing at home in front of their favorite or favorite supporters. Expect them to come out strong, pressing high and looking to dominate possessions. The attacking firepower is immense, and you've got a player like Harry Kane leading the line, who, despite some people might say, is only one of the best strikers in the world right now, and will be looking to score against a familiar Premier League opponent. I mean, he's been playing against us for as way back as I can remember. So it's going to be a tough one. And there's also the pace of Luis Diaz, like I mentioned. You have Serge Gnabry, you have Michael Olisa also coming, and then when you talk about their midfield, we're talking about Joshua Kimmich, who will be trying to pull his strings from the middle of the park, and then also a rock solid defense in Upamecano and Kim Min Jae. So you have a whole lot of obstacles for Chelsea to face, and they are a well-oiled machine, honestly speaking. Because I think in the last 3 games they've scored way over 15 goals. So this is really going to be a tough one. They are likely to employ a high defense line, looking to squeeze us out, and I think this is where we actually have a little advantage over them, because based on the formation and the gameplay that you've seen Chelsea play in the last couple of games, they are very attacking minded, and they love playing against opponents who are who like pressing high, not those low block teams. So this is going to be a tough one. We need to be ready for the intensity, their quick transition, and their relentless attacking waves. And this is also a step up from anything that we face so far this season. I mean, like I said before, this is not the kind of gameplay that you take to Crystal Palace or Fulham or West Ham or even Brentford that we played over the weekend. This is something that we've not faced at all in the Premier League so far. And this brings me to the third phase where I'll be talking about Chelsea and the tactical approach from Enzo Maresca. And we do how we counter them would always matter, and that depends on Maresca's monumental task, especially with ongoing injury crisis. I mean, it's a very tough one. Let's quickly recap on the players who are out. You have Levi Cohen long term. You have Liam Delap who injured his hamstring and will be out until November. And crucially, Dare Sugo who just went for a surgery, a thigh surgery, and I think he'll be out for around 3 months. The availability of Kopama, Romelavia, and Banebadeshiu, I think Kopama hopefully might start that game tomorrow. I pray Enzo Maresca decides to train him in from the beginning, but that of Beno Badeshiu and Romelavia is still yet to be confirmed. But here's the crazy twist that comes out. Nicolas Jackson, yes, that's him, Nicolas Jackson that you know, who was at Chelsea just last season, is now at Bayern Munich, and with Joao Pedro now confirmed to have not been 100% fit. I mean, we don't know what might come out of it, but I still hope and think that Joao Pedro will actually start. So entirely possible that we could see Jackson playing against us, and this is how it has been. I mean, the kind of deal that Chelsea does, and I just hope that Nicolas Jackson does not come to bite us back. Honestly, so who starts up front? Does Maresca risk Joao Pedro starting up front there? Honestly, I feel Pedro is going to start up front and maybe flanking him with Estava Williams and Pedro Neto. And then you have Kopama playing the 10 and the deep line playmaker in Enzo Fernandez, and then your number 6 in Moise Caicedo will be my preferred midfield and forward line. And then talking about the defense, I hope Tosin Adarabioyo does not start this game. Honestly, I just want to see Rhys James starting at the right wing back, and then you have Trevor Chalobah and Wesley Fofana pairing as the 4 and 5, and then you have Marco Kurela and the undisputed number 1 Roberto Sanchez starting in goal. So this brings me to my prediction and my final thoughts. This is going to be an incredible tough game. Honestly, Bayern are home in the Champions League, and it's one of the hardest fixtures in football. Coming off a frustrating draw against Brentford, I mean, that draw was something I didn't envisage. I didn't see it coming, but then it happened. So that's the game of football. So, and with the injury crisis that we're also facing, the odds are stacked against us. It's more like 100-2 or 88 or 98-2 against us. However, this is Chelsea and this is Champions League, and it's very funny when I see my friends and fans, other football fans, and when they say Chelsea are playing a big team, and then they are going to smack Chelsea, they are going to beat them like blue black, and then I told them, I said, look, for whatever it is, the sky is always blue, and I always believe that Chelsea, whenever the odds are stacked against us, we always tend to come out and perform. And this team has the habit of producing this whenever it matters, and I think we need a heroic performer. I can't pinpoint who I would say might actually score for us and maybe give us that victory tomorrow, but especially from the defense. We need somebody. We need a rock solid defense that tomorrow, and that is why I'm saying that I would prefer Tosin sitting out that game, maybe coming in from the bench, maybe at the dying embers of the game. And we need our big players also to step up, the likes of Enzo Fernandez, Moise Caicedo, Rhys James. That is if he starts. Cole Palmer also. Now for the prediction, my head says a narrow defeat, but my heart is always a blue. My heart is always a blue, and so my heart is saying I should go for a 1-1 draw, and I think we'll manage to frustrate them and nick a vital away goal, showing our resilience and laying down a marker for the group. It won't be easy, but we can do it. Honestly, come on Chelsea, come on you Blues. So, what are your predictions? What are you feeling confident about this prediction that I've made? Also, are you bracing for a tough night? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to Chelsea is our way for the latest Chelsea news and instant reaction after the final whistle. Until then, keep the blue flag flying high. And also, guys, please do ensure to like, subscribe. I mean, your liking and you subscribing would give me the utmost push to always put out good content for you guys. And until then, see you.